Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. We are here to preview Inter versus RB Salzburg. It's going to be the early kickoff tomorrow in the Champions League. Remember, it's the early kickoff, 5:45 p.m. for me here in the UK. I always get caught out sometimes by these early Champions League kickoffs. So I just wanted to make sure to remind you of that. Inzaghi and Henrik Mkhitaryan had just had their pre-match press conference. So we're going to go quickly through some of the key points to take away from their press conference, and then, of course, predict the lineups for tomorrow. And we'll start off with Miki, the ever-green and ever-present for Inzaghi. Mkhitaryan, clearly the one player that Inzaghi can't do without, and I'm pretty sure we'll see him start once again tomorrow. He admitted that we didn't start the Champions League well, but we improved against Benfica. And he's also admitted, there's rumors that he's going to be offered a new contract. And yeah, he says he feels great in the city, in the team. I'm doing my best to help the team. And of course, his agent's going to take care of it. And then we'll see. The other important point from Mkhitaryan is that he talked about something I've talked about quite often on my channel, is that this guy's played, as an attacking midfielder / winger his whole career. And that's what he says here. I've always been a trequartista in my career. It's not a problem being a second striker. Nothing changes for me. I always will give the best for the team. The coach wants me to play there, I'll play there. Yeah, I think he should be. I've been saying even last season when we didn't really need it, but sometimes, you need to try something a bit different. And I think Mkhitaryan can definitely play that second striker role, which he did against Torino at the end when Klaassen came on. And then, Inzaghi just, saying Inter are coming into this game with good form, good morale, very balanced group, which we can see right here. It is a very, very balanced group. Real Sociedad and Inter at the moment at the top, but Benfica surprisingly with 0 points after 2 games, which complicates things when all the teams are getting some points. All Inter need to do to pretty much almost secure qualification is win these 2 matches against Salzburg. It will be back-to-back, home and away against Salzburg. Secure the 6 points. You're on 10 points, and then you can even probably get away with just drawing towards the end of the return leg against Sociedad, and then Benfica. It puts you in really, really good position. So 6 points is exactly what Inter need from these 2 games against Real Sociedad. Spoke briefly about Thuram, how his qualities, they knew about him, changed country, changed the league, and how quickly he's got used to everything at Inter, and he wants to say well done to him, but also his teammates for helping him feel at home really quickly. He needs to continue like this, of course. Usually they're talking about rotations. I have some doubts. So we'll see tomorrow. He always keeps his cards close to his chest. But then there was one point where he was very specifically talked about Sanchez. They were only asking him, is going to be Thuram, Lautaro. And he was like, he went on a little, whole few, sentences on Sanchez specifically. He says, Sanchez is ready. I really wanted him here. And, last year we cancelled his contract, paid him off, and then now we brought him back. He didn't do any preparation, any preseason. He had 2 calls from Chile. Those 2 matches, he played full 90 minutes for them. If he will play from the start, he won't play from the start, we know. Both Arnautovic and Sanchez are 2 players we wanted. Marco has already proven to be an important player. Sanchez was here before for a long time. They will give us great satisfaction like Lautaro and Thuram. So yeah, just a little, reminder from Inzaghi that, Inzaghi himself, I wasn't sure whether it was his choice, Marotta, whose choice was it, but he seems to say, I wanted Sanchez back. So Alexis now kind of needs to step up, because at the moment he's, we thought he was going to be an upgrade on Correa, but he hasn't even proven to be that. Then they asked him a little quick question on, should you thank Lukaku for ruining the deal? Because that means that, Thuram has been able to integrate himself quicker and in the way that he has, and he kind of just, moved past it really quickly, saying we'll think about Roma in a few days. Then he talked about, the wing backs are the players that expend the most energy in this, now formation, which is, we all know that the wing backs running up and down, very, very tiring. So he always usually subs them in and out. Usually Di Marco always the first. We're missing Cuadrado. He has this inflammation that doesn't let him work calmly. luckily Darmian is there to give Dumfries a breather. He said, Darmian also does the wing back role quite well, but in my opinion, as it shows against Torino, he shouldn't really play in that role. And then quickly, speaking of Salzburg, they talked about Real Sociedad being tough, but Salzburg, they play this aggressive 4-3-1-2 formation. Not many teams play that formation. So it's a very midfield dense formation. They, of course, every Red Bull team, high pressing, high defensive line type of team, counter pressing type of style of play. But they also can play different formations, very vertical. They have physical attackers who will need a real intermatch, 100%. We cannot underestimate the Salzburg team because they went out and beat Benfica away in the first game. Massive result for them. And then quickly on Lautaro, they asked him, is he, Ballon d'Or worthy? Or I don't know how they phrase that question, but here it just says Lautaro da Pallone d'Oro. He says, yeah, clearly, yes. He for the trophies that he's won, for what he's done, he'll be there that night. But I don't think he'll win it, but he deserves to be there, which I agree. And then also on Sommer, he said same concepts of play have remained, same principles. He was chosen for that because he's good with his feet, like Andanovic and Onana. He's integrating well, like Onana was towards the April-May part of the season. He says that's not the same Onana that we saw in September, which is true. Zoma has excellent technical qualities. We're happy with the choice we made. And then, quickly talked about, how he inserted Klaas in because he was training very well because Sanchez, was probably struggling with jet lag after, his 15-hour flight and 6-hour time difference. So, overall, usual Inzaghi, very calm press conference. The only real takeaway for me was the fact that he kind of focused on Alexis. So I think he's expecting him to step up. Predicted lineups. Let's finish up on that. I mean, I haven't seen the Sky Sport Italia lineups. Those are my preferred going to. But Sport Mediaset are actually the company that owns the rights to Champions League in Italy. So usually they kind of have a bit more insight when it comes to Champions League games for Inter. And this is the predicted lineup they have, and I pretty much agree with it. Acerbi coming in for De Vrij, Pavard staying, Bastoni coming back in after a full rest last game. Obviously, Hakan continues, and big news is Frattesi coming in for Mkhitaryan, for Barella. And I think, we talked about it in our post-match stream, not even just form-wise, just also resting-wise. Barella's played a lot of minutes, and, I think Frattesi deserves to play. That's the thing. I would put him either or for Mkhitaryan or Barella. I said Barella even last time around against Torino. So definitely Frattesi has to start now. And Carlos Augusto for Di Marco also makes sense. As Inzaghi mentioned, Salzburg, a young, athletic, quick, counter-pressing team. And I think someone like Carlos Augusto will be nice to have marauding up and down the wing. And Dumfries starts back because, he had a bit of a rest against Torino and came on, made an impact. I definitely don't want to see Darmian in this game. We need, in a team that plays a compact formation, we need a wing back that stretches the play like Denzel does. And up front, there's no doubt about Thuram and Lautarito. What do you guys think? Would you make any changes to that? I pretty much agree 100% with this formation. On the other side, they actually have a lot of injuries according to Sky Sport Media here. Fernando, Guindo, Cameri, Koita, Manti, Kiergaard. This is quite an important player for them. Sucic is also another important player for them. So they're missing a lot of players. And for some reason, they have their best centre-back, Umar Solet, on the bench here. So I'm not sure. I mean, I wish I had Simi, who is, follows RB Salzburg, friend of the channel very, very closely. Austrian boy. Simple Simi, but I'm not sure. But of course, to watch out. We played them in preseason. If you guys remember, this guy Konate was very impressive. Scored against us. Has pace, runs in behind. Really, really interesting play. He's probably going to be one of those players that they sell on for a lot of money in a year or two. Simic as well. I think he scored against Benfica as well. He looked pretty good. Gunnar Duas, this guy was quite impressive against us as well. Pavlovic was also linked with some big team. Terzic, is this the guy from Fiorentina, if I'm correct? I think this is the left back that used to play for, Alexa Terzic. Yeah, this is the guy from Fiorentina, so he's a bit familiar with Serie A, Inter. Though he didn't play much football. But yeah, Inter at home, it will be another 70K plus San Siro crowd, I'm sure, pushing this team. We're going in with good form. We're only really missing Cuadrado and Arnautovic. Lots of options off the bench if things don't work out. I'm confident. I'm confident about this game. I wouldn't mind to see a young Saar getting maybe a little quick appearance at the end. Give some moments, especially with the injuries up front. I wouldn't mind seeing that if things are working out well, of course. And maybe give Hakan a rest towards the end with Aslani, and try to start to think of Roma towards the weekend if possible. But yeah, apart from that, any other things? Of course, Lautaro is in great form, so hopefully he can replicate his Serie A form into Champions League. Because at the moment he's on 2.5 xG, which is the highest in the competition. And I think, how many goals does he have? Does he only have the one at the moment? Probably has just the one goal at the moment, in Lautaro. Yeah, because he's not coming up on here, so he must be still on one. So hopefully, yeah, he can take his Serie A form into the Champions League. You can see Karim Konate is also XG per 90 right next to Lautaro. So it shows that he's been very, very dangerous. Yeah, let's finish up with a match prediction. I think we can keep, with our Pavard, Acerbi, Bastoni back at line. I think we can keep a clean sheet. I'm going to go for a nice, solid, convincing 2-0 victory for Inter. That takes us to 7 points and in control of our destiny to go away to Salzburg to secure the future qualification. But let's see. The Salzburg team are a bit difficult to gauge. They've had a bit up and down form-wise. They lost their last game against Lask in the Austrian league, the second in the Austrian league. Let me see if I can just pull it up quickly to show you guys. RB Salzburg. There we are. So you can see there they lost the last game 1-0, and then they'd won one before that, and then they drew one. They also got a red card in the other. So they're in decent form, but nothing spectacular. You can see that the top scorers in the league, so they're definitely an attacking team, but susceptible at the back, which we should take advantage of. So yeah, you guys let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree with Inzaghi's predicted lineup that apparently Inzaghi's going to put? Who would you start? Who would you not? And what's your predicted score? See you on the next one. Ciao ragazzi, Forza Inter. Leave a thumbs up, guys. That is the best way to support the channel. Ciao, and enjoy Limone Bowl, hopefully.